Scoop is not just an entity where you can publish your press release through. It's a media organisation in its own right. The decision was made to basically open up the gates to what the journalists only used to see. We have between 1 and 2 million pages read per month. When the statement comes in, we're looking at it and we're getting shaped in our own thinking as well. And you quite often will probably see us talking about issues out there on radio, sometimes on television. Blog writers are an important part of this whole media environment today. Their views are often persuasive and influential amongst particularly politicians. And so by taking the traditional route of releasing a media statement just to mainstream media won't often get to them at all. And doing it through Scoop, they're going through Scoop all the time. The information on announcing something is going to happen is important, but also it's really important to follow through with information that really answers the why questions, answers the how questions, items that make sense of all the information that's out there. And that's highly valuable to people, particularly if it gives a steer on not just what has happened in the past and what is happening now, but it gives an indication of where this issue is going. Pitching the idea is really important, but there will be times where we would like to see some evidence of the issue. It may be by way of an abstract or a synopsis of what the article would be about. What are the complexities that are lying behind it? What are the opposing ideas? Where's the thinking of those that do not subscribe to this point of view? Why is it necessary for this information to be out now? Structure is important. For example, if you wrote 10,000 words without structure, well, people probably wouldn't get past, the first 10% of it. The other thing with longer pieces too, it's often very important to illustrate them. And so really what you're seeing is organisations are starting to have to think in a way like journalists. Pieces that give a backgrounder to what is happening, an insight into some of the subtleties, investigative pieces, analysis pieces that are well written, well timed, they rate very well. And they'll also continue to be a body of work that people will cite in the future. Because the database is open and it doesn't have a time limit to that, we find that we often see references to items that are in the Scoop database from years ago. One of the things that we don't like is just petty kind of jabbing at people or organisations. Chase the ball, you don't chase the player. Pieces that are insightful, that lift the lid, that humanise, that fit with our core editorial policies like humanitarianism, they'll work really well. Headlines are important to capture exactly what it's about. Some people find headline writing really quite difficult, but we're all used to telling our friends and our families exactly what's happened in fairly short and concise ways. Okay, I'm going to ring up and I'm going to tell my brother, my sister, my partner what this is about. And then your headline can usually come into that. If you looked at your first 2 paragraphs in the article that you've written, you'll find the key words in there will probably indicate what the headline should be. Written text is a very, very good way of getting information out, but there are some things where audio and certainly video are the best vehicle of getting information out there. It may be that you've got an interview or a one-on-one with a very special person that perhaps text just can't quite capture. 3 minutes with a YouTube video may actually be able to get that out to many, many, many thousands of people. The text can also be written around what is in that video, for example, and position the video in the page, in that top third so that people are seeing that. We all live within a global village. There may be, for example, a disaster that has occurred in our region perhaps. Some of the issues relating to the impact on the people. There's ways of bringing that out and communicating that effectively, knowing that you're not just talking to New Zealanders here. Put it this way, instead of your message being placed into the hands of another who may or may not really grasp what your message really is about, you can control it more by doing it this way through us. Obviously, in some cases it will be challenged by other players, but it is a way of getting your material out there, how you see it, and also in a way that will not be touched by others. If one believes that an issue has been trivialised or it hasn't been communicated to the public in a robust way, then there's an opportunity to use a vehicle like Scoop to make sure that your view on how it should be is actually out there.